Hello and good evening, everyone. And hi, Sandy, and hi, Abby. Welcome. I'm here tonight with one of my dearest friends, Laura Lafkowitz. She and I have been doing this challenge, this 30-day going live every single fucking day challenge. Today's our 26th day, and we are like limping up against or up towards the finish line. And we were literally just on the phone and just be like, oh, we have to go live, don't we? And we decided just to do it together because it would be so much easier to have that energy together than it is apart. Yes. Hi, Lauren. Thank you for doing it.
Hi. I'm grateful for your intro time period because I had to log into StreamYard separately and it reset all my settings. So I was not mirrored. And I kept looking at my own face and thinking like, why does my face look weird? And it's because I'm not used to seeing my face in that direction. Right. So it gave me the time to update the settings so that I was mirrored, so that I wasn't looking at myself, I guess, the way other people look at me, which is also weird. Yeah.
Right. And it's funny. And so I get freaked out by that all the time. But it's funny because it's like we see it as unattractive the other way. But it's really just so unfamiliar.
Yes.
Right. It's just like, oh God. And we're like, is that what everyone sees? And then we get but no, like everyone sees us just as we are.
Yeah.
You know, they're not looking at our faces as often as we are. You know?
Yeah. It's like seeing a doppelganger that I don't want to see. Like, oh, she looks like me, but I don't really like her face. So now it's better.
It's like the ugly twin that we all have that, you know, lives in our Zoom machine.
Right.
Anyway, but no, I loved how we came up with the topic about having the right people in your corner. And I mean, you can't do anything in life without the right people in your corner. It really doesn't matter what it is that you're trying to do. And I'll use our friends that are watching on Instagram. So like Abby is an incredible horsewoman. She rode horses as a teenager, and I remember that. But she had like such a supportive family, and you know, it's such a cool thing. But it takes so much. It takes so much to learn that. And then Sandy's this incredible realtor, and you know, she has this incredible team in her corner. And literally, she'll be the first one to tell you can't do what she does without the right support.
Yeah.
And we can't do the things that we need to do without the right support in our businesses and in our lives.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, I've had a very weird week. Yesterday was my birthday, and 3 days before that, I said goodbye to my dog after 16 years. And I have sympathy and birthday flowers in my apartment. And it's like a total like mind warping look at like these really beautiful gestures from people that don't match.
Yeah.
Right. Happy best day of the year and worst day of your last 16 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we ended up here because I called you and I was like, make the grief go away.
Right.
And you told me that you couldn't, and I didn't like it. But still, I'm glad to have you in my corner because you normalize things for me.
Yeah.
And I know it's normal to be like down. And also like, there's this like inner fight that like, I want to be all in on my life. Like I'm excited about so many things, and I'm like very tired from the last week.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. I went through a really dark period in my senior year of high school, and I was really depressed. And as I was coming out of it, I made a deal with myself that like, you know, feeling all the feelings was the greatest gift, you know, because I think someone, you know, ended things for themselves in that time. And it really scared me because, you know, like depression, like you just don't know where it's going to go. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, oh no, like the worst things that happen, like all the terrible feelings, like it's all like it colors the landscape that is your life,
mm-hmm.
you know, and it's awful when you're going through it, but it's like the alternative is not having it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
And not to say like, be grateful for this terrible thing that happened.
Right.
But it, you know, but it's just one of those things that we all have to find our way to like create context around it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
and for me, like I I thrive on like very dark humor and empathetic humor. And so to be able to like talk to my people about this situation, which is like probably the saddest loss I've ever gone through.
Yeah.
You know, the night that the night after I did it, I went and sat with my friend Mary Jo, who is a longtime friend and who came with me to pick my dog up when I met the dog. And so to sit with her on the day when I said goodbye was like really important. And we had our tears together. And then we went out to dinner, and our server was super attentive and kept coming over to check on us. And she was like, "How are you guys doing? You doing okay?" And we'd be like, "Yeah." And then she'd walk away and we'd be like, "We're actually very sad."
I think I said this, you told me about that. I'm like, I've been a waitress, and I'm like, she was in the kitchen like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. They're so unhappy. Like, I can
so
just
unhappy
feel
with
it,
me.
like something's wrong. They're gonna like stiff me on the tip. I just can feel it.
Yeah. And then she came back and she was like, "You need anything?" And she walks away, and I'm like, "Can you bring my dog back?" Like we have to, like, you have to have those people in your corner who can laugh with you about like the most terrible things, and also like sit with you in your grief and cry with you. And and so I think tonight we just were like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Well, all right, let's just do it together. So we do it.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, everyone reacts to different things, and I'm just having like a low energy day. I'm just tired. You know, it's not like I've had a tragedy happen in my life. But like that happens. We're not robots. Right. You know, as much as you want me to be able to wave a magic wand and like take all your feelings away, you know, it's like we're going to have these low energy days. We're going to have days where something devastating has just happened, and we still have to show up.
Yeah.
You know, because we're here to do something. And to be able to do that, you have to have people that you can lean on, you know, and turn to and have really dark, fucked up jokes with, you know?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And so you asked me if I had had enough water, and I said no. And you asked me if I had meditated today, and I said no.
Yeah.
And I didn't do anything to support myself today except pick up the phone and call you. So, and you know, I reached out to a couple of other people, and I feel really lucky that I have built community around me. I tried to lone wolf it for a lot of years, and I've always had like a few really close friends. But I often found myself reaching out like after I had resolved a thing.
Yeah.
To say like, this terrible thing happened. Here's how I handled it. Here's why I'm okay now. How are you?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't do that anymore.
Instead of asking for help, you debriefed them on like the situation after the fact.
Yes.
Yeah.
It made me feel really capable and lonely. And, you know, like there's this combination of like, I can do anything. I'm so resilient.
Yeah.
And then this realization that like, we don't have to be resilient by ourselves.
Right.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like I used to do the same thing, and I used to joke that like I'm like the most functional depressed person when I'm depressed. Like you would never know. Like I'm wearing makeup and I'm dressing nicely and my hair is done. I'm going out, but as soon as I come home, I'm just in bed. And you would never guess. And my therapist at one point years ago, when I was going through a really dark period after something really terrible happened, she's like, you have to tell people, like, they're not going to guess that you're going through this really hard struggle right now unless you tell them, because all they're seeing is who's showing up in therapy right now, who has her hair done, who's wearing makeup, who's dressing nicely, who's really thin because you're not eating. Like,
total lack of nourishment.
I always like my greatest when life goes to hell and I have
Come on, make it worse. I need a new haircut.
I know. You need to lose that last 10 pounds. But yeah, like but it does take practice. And I remember like texting friends and just being like, hey, I picked like 3 people. And I was like, hey, you wouldn't know this. You have no reason to know this. Don't feel bad that you don't know this. but I'm really struggling. And I listed off the ways that I was struggling. And I was like, if I get really bad, I need someone to know what's going on so I can reach out for help and not have to explain it in that like deep, dark, like cavern of hell that I'm in.
Right.
But it's so hard when you have grown up to just be super self-sufficient.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and I did. For so many years, I just like solved things on my own. Yeah. It's so much harder to do that than to build the relationships with people to like be on your side.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's it? The 3 hardest things to say in the English language are I love you, Worcestershire sauce, and or I need help.
And for some people, I'm wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if that's limited to English, but sure.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I was actually thinking today about we're going to Florida next week to be with our friend Lauren, who launched a whole company like that. Yeah. And meeting all of these people we've met through LinkedIn over the last however many years.
Yeah.
Who we've never met in person and we're perfectly willing to stay with for a long weekend.
I know.
And they used to tell you not to get into a car with a stranger.
I know, right? Like literally, I'm going to you on Monday. Tuesday, we're hitting the road. We're driving to Ariel Lee's house, who we've both never met in person.
Correct.
We're sleeping over at her house. We're kidnapping her the next day. Not kidding. I mean, if you're watching this, don't call the police. It's consensual. Yes. We're driving with her 7 hours to Orlando, where we're staying with all these other people in a house that like we've never met these people in person.
Yeah.
You know, and it's going to be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. That's 4 nights.
Yeah.
That's a lot of nights. And then we're doing the same on reverse back.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Ariel better still like us on our way back. She's
like, no, I think I've booked a flight. You know,
I found a really expensive flight home, so I'm going to take that.
I found these nice gentlemen. They say they're driving north. I'm just going to hitch a ride with them. Yeah. But what's funny is that I know these women that we're going to spend time with, it doesn't matter that we've never met in person. I know that like if I needed help, if I needed like advice, if I needed to talk, I could call any of them. Mm-hmm. And they would pick up the phone and they would be there.
Yeah.
You know, but like that is just like it's the true gift of the interwebs. I know it's a dangerous place for some, but like it's really this incredible supportive place for the rest of us. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And I've never met a bear on LinkedIn though.
Right.
But I would maybe trust a bear that I met on LinkedIn.
Totally. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it's like, these are people like we've exchanged money with because we've done work with some of them. And it's amazing how you can build really deep, trusting relationships with people you've never actually met. And in fact, the person who helped me with puppy, I keep bringing it back to my dog. Like, my dog's dead.
But I'm sorry, you said that. I'm not laughing at the fact that your dog's dead. Just the way you said that.
I'm reminding myself of Debbie Downer from Saturday Night Live. Remember that time my dog died? But the friend who helped me with the decision is like an amazing talent of a pet communicator.
Yeah.
Who I met last year through LinkedIn, through Lauren Howard, because she was on Team Difficult. And then she tried to help me with an insurance issue I was having. And we went quickly from like very polite, like, gosh, that's so generous of you to offer to help, to like, I think my trauma started at age, and now she helped me make the decision to help my dog, go where she needed to go. And we've never met in person. We've talked on the phone. We've been on Zoom. We text all the time. We have a very good meme game going in Instagram and Reels game, just like you and I do. Yep. And I know fully that when the time comes to meet her, and she's in Texas and I'm in Maryland, and who knows, when we'll actually be in the same state at the same time, but like we'll be in the middle of a conversation already. And I love that we get to do that in our lives.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and it was like you and Anna coming to my place in Philadelphia a year and a half ago, and it was just like, it was like having family over. Yes. So without the pressure of having to impress you.
But like without having to actually entertain.
It's like we went out, we got cheese, we got bread, we watched movies, we did one touristy thing, and otherwise we just hung out at my place with my dog.
And even the touristy thing we barely did.
Yeah, no, like the Liberty Bell. It was the lamest thing in the world. If you're in Philadelphia and you're like, I would like something interesting to do, don't go see the Liberty Bell. It's not interesting. It's a hunk of metal that has a crack in it.
And then we stood on a street corner deciding, like, were we going to go to that museum, or no, let's just get cheesesteaks and pizza and go back to your apartment.
Smart.
That was a smart decision.
I mean, it's not funny, haha, but like that next week, Luna almost died, my dog.
Right.
And you were the only one to be like, do you want me to drive to you? I can come and just be with you. I can drop Puppy off with someone and I can just be with you, even though Luna was like in the hospital fighting for her life. And I was just beside myself losing it.
Yeah.
Really, like it's, it's, if you don't have the right people in your corner, you're just not going to make it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah. Or you are, and it's going to be such a struggle that you're not going to want to. Like, there's no reason to like revel in your loneliness.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us do that, especially like high achieving women. Yeah. We just think we're supposed to. We think like our job is to help other people. And so if we're the ones helping other people, there's like nobody sort of up the ladder to help us.
Right.
And what I have learned is it's like, this is going to be really like several years ago, me is rolling her eyes at how cheesy this is going to sound, but it's not about building up like people to look up to. It's like, it's building a circle of people, right? And building your community around you and knowing that you can look in any direction and you have people.
Right.
I'm embarrassed for me. That was really mushy. Yeah. Woo. I'm exhausted. I'm going to need to nap after this.
Yeah.
You made me this way, Katie. You did this to me.
It's on you. No, it's funny. I'm thinking about this really like goofy movie called The Valet. It's on Hulu. Have you ever seen it? Did I make you watch it? Okay. So the premise of the movie.
You made me watch Exit Through the Gift Shop.
Right. So, but anyway, so there's this famous actress and she's having an affair with a married man who's really wealthy, and they get caught by a photographer. And so and like chaos ensues, and like there's this valet who ends up in the picture. And so they pay the valet to pretend that he's in a relationship with this actress. This actress is like so successful, and she has no one. She has her publicist. She has her assistant. Like her mom is in jail for embezzling from her. And she becomes really close friends with this valet and his family. And, but like she finally has people. Yeah. And like her life just completely flips because of it.
Yeah.
And but it's just like, it's such a, none of us are immune to this.
Right. Have you seen the show Hacks?
Yes.
That's another like that. Well, that's such a great show about like a woman who just is like alienates everybody.
Two women who alienate everybody.
Women, yes, and they like accidentally crash into each other and begin depending on each other in like very funny, very touching, very sad kinds of ways. Yeah.
I have to admit though, I got like halfway through season 2. And he's on the lesbian cruise where she started being so awful on stage. I like had to stop. I was like, I with this. I actually need to go back and watch. So I know there's a 3rd season. Yeah. But oh my God, what's her name? Gene Hackman. No, Gene.
No, Gene Hackman is a man in his 80s.
What's the actress's name then?
It's something Gene Smart.
Gene Smart. Thank you. Yeah. She's just phenomenal in it. She's like,
she's amazing. And the woman who plays her assistant or her writer is also
I don't know.
Amazing. I don't know her name in real life. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great show.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm grateful to have my people in my corner, and I don't think you can go through this life and have like a whole full life without deciding that you're worth having people in your corner.
No. It's funny. I think about my clients who are the most successful, and the ones who are the most successful are the ones that have like the most emotional support in their corner.
Mm-hmm.
They actually don't have to be well off. They don't have to, be like super well educated, but if they have really good emotional support and they feel like they're supported by their people, like that is a huge, huge part that gets completely jumped over when we're talking about, what gives someone an advantage in starting a business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I find this with my corporate clients too, that like the ones who have the hardest time haven't built the emotional capital around them. They've isolated themselves. And when they start learning to network internally, when they start learning to network like across their industry, they start to feel a sense of belonging that they didn't know they could have.
Yeah.
Because there are other high achieving humans out there who feel the same way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then go us. Look at us. We're just
go us. Go find your people right now.
Go find your people. Yeah. Well, and also I think one of the funny things is that like when you go through this process of doing anything that's like brave and outside your comfort zone and like designed for emotional vulnerability in a lot of different ways, like you realize like you have people in your life who actually like block it from happening.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to just like you're out of here. You're gone. Done.
Yeah.
Like you really have to clear the field.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which sounds,
you have to decide where your energy goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to expend a lot more energy on doing free work for people because it came easily to me.
Right.
But it doesn't come easily if you're doing it all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Well,
no more.
I'm really happy to have you in my corner.
It's all over for you, suckers.
All right. Well, we should celebrate. We just did day 26.
Yes.
7, 28, 29, 30. We have 4 days left.
We have 4 days left.
Yep.
So see you Saturday because we're going to wrap up together too.
We are going to wrap up together.
Mm-hmm.
30-day challenge. I'm really impressed. I think like the key to our success with this was the consequences.
They were excellent consequences. And I can't wait to hear what your ideas were for my consequences. And I can't wait to tell you what my ideas were for yours.
God. Yeah. You'll enjoy it. We'll do that on Saturday. We'll do the big reveal.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I'm proud of us. Yeah.
Anyway, want to thank Rest and Relax Boston, Abby and Sandy, and anyone else who's been joining us who I just didn't see come through if you didn't comment. It's been so lovely to have you. And if you do not have the right people in your corner, go find them, please. And Lauren, thanks for doing this with me.
Thanks for doing this with me.
Yeah. All right. Have a good night, everyone. I'm Katie McManus, business strategist and money mindset coach.
And I'm Lauren Lefkowitz, executive coach. And I think fine is a trap.
Yes. And it is. All right. Have a good night, everyone.